Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. Now, this lesson is going to be on the fact that Dathan, Korah, and Abiram thought that they were right. You know, when they came up against Moses, they said Moses, taketh up too much on himself because they wanted some of that power, and in their mind, they thought they were right. They thought they were justified because all of these people know that the Most High exists because they saw the power of him taking them out of Egypt. They saw the chariot that was following them. So it's not a question of does the Most High exist? The question is, did they trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai? Did they trust in the Heavenly Father Yahweh? In the angel that he sent. Okay? But their thing was they thought that they were worthy of usurping authority from Moses, okay, but they weren't. That's the thing. But in their mind, they thought they were, right? Because the scriptures say that all the ways of a man seemeth right in his own heart. So you could think that you're right, and you can sincerely believe that you're right, but you can be dead wrong. So you always have to examine whether you're really on the right-hand side of the Most High or not. You see? Because there's going to be certain people in the day when Yahweh Shai comes back that they're going to believe that he might deliver them, but he's going to say, get away from me, ye workers of iniquity. I never knew you, because really they weren't doing the right thing. And that falls into a lack of examining oneself. They fail to examine themselves. Just like a lot of people, a lot of men right now are failing to examine themselves and to see if they're being hypocrites, to see if they're really, if they're coming up against the men that the Lord is dealing with, if they're in order, if they were at fault. You see what I'm saying? If they're being merciless, in their judgments, different things. The Lord is basically he's looking at how people think, and how pure is their intentions. Because when you go into the word sincerity, it actually means pure. Okay, which is the Hebrew word tahar. So if the Lord is only dealing with those that are of a pure heart, that are coming with a sincere mind, and they would examine themselves. I don't care who comes up and tells you. I don't care what rank. I don't care what level. I don't care if it's a guy on the other side. If he says something that is true, you should examine it, right? You should examine it. And if you're coming up against a man that the Lord is dealing with, you should examine that too. Especially if he's been dealing with him longer than he's been dealing with you. In other words, he has more of a track record of good report from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai than you. I'll say it that way. Okay, because men of the Lord, right? Like a great example is King David. He understand and recognize that the Most High dealt with Saul at one point in time, that he was the anointed of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So he refused to step out of line. He refused it, even unto death. Even unto death, he refused to go up against Saul. And Saul was trying to kill him, man. And he had opportunity to kill Saul. And he could have gained followers too. All right? But he was so pure of heart. His integrity was so strong he said, nah. You know, he said, nah, he refused. Okay, he refused to do that. You know, and when you look at the mindset of King David, a lot of you don't have anything close to the mindset of King David. But then you claim to be the house of David. So that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. Okay? But, you know, and it's not just about particular individuals. It's just about a mindset in general. It's a mindset of not examining oneself or checking and, you know, to see or to pray on it to see if you could be wrong. It's like there's certain guys who there's no way they can be wrong. There's no way they can ever be wrong. And some men know they're wrong, but through their ego and pride, they refuse to admit it. So they'll say things like that the mark is spiritual now and then later it's going to be physical, which is stupid as all hell. And they still haven't broke down what the physical part is, right? Because they refuse to admit that they're wrong, which just goes into ego, right? Which pride goes before a fall. So it's a dangerous game these guys are playing, a very dangerous game. A very dangerous game. And it also goes into a lack of fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. It goes into a lack of fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Because when you fear Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you are very diligent in examining yourself, you know, and watching what you say, watching what you think, right? You're rebuking your thoughts. I had to just rebuke a thought just before, and I got mad because this is just a daily thing of rebuking thoughts, rebuking mindsets, rebuking, you know, refraining from saying certain things, okay? Admitting when you're wrong. Yeah. People see that too, you know. When you going through situations and the men around you, they realize, yo, this guy can never admit when he's wrong. So it's like, yo, does this guy truly have integrity? You know, does he really have integrity? You can't have integrity if you don't admit when you're wrong. That's not integrity. That's not whole, because integrity goes into whole, right? Where you get the word, where you get the integer, the word integer from, like integer, whole numbers. Okay, that's to be whole, right? You're partial. If you can admit when anyone else is wrong, but then when you're wrong, you can't admit when you're wrong, then you're partial. You're not 100%. Okay, you're not pure. You know. So these things are to be considered, because all the men that came up against men of the Lord, even the scoffers and all that, they believed that they were right. I'll say the majority, you know, or a lot of them. I won't even put a percent. I'll say a lot of them believed that they were right. You know, some of them knew they were doing wickedness, but a lot of them believed that they were doing right. Okay? And the thing is this, that they never examined or considered, right? They never put their emotions aside and examined and considered whether they could be wrong. And it's just like the Christian church. We're showing them things in the scriptures, and we're actually using the scriptures, breaking it down very thoroughly. And nope, Jesus is love. Nope, he came for all men. And they don't want to consider that they're wrong, but that's all based upon their emotions. That's all their emotions, because they want to lean towards their flesh, which is dealing with their emotions, their flesh, rather than objectively look at the situation to see if Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is with what they're saying or not, if the scriptures are in line with what they're saying or not. You see? And that's when the spirit kicks in. But they won't do it. They won't do that. You know, they won't do that. They're engulfed in the flesh. They're engulfed in the flesh, like a lot of these people, right? Sensual are they, right? Sensual are they? Okay. Some in the latter days, some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits, because those seducing spirits, they feel good. The seducing spirits don't make you feel always negative and depressed. No, the seducing spirits make you feel good in the flesh, right? Of course, there's spirits of depression and demons like that, but the seducing spirits are to lure you in. And how do they lure you in? They lure you in by catering to the flesh, the feel good of the flesh. Okay, so you have guys who are ignoring the spirit, the true spirit, and being deceived by their emotions. And when they get caught in the lie, they just skate over it, because they rather believe what they want to believe than to admit that they might be wrong. It's a scary thing, man. It's a scary thing, and it just proves that they're really not of the elect. You know, because the elect will have no guile found in their mouth, and guile means deceit. The elect are not looking to deceive you, right? Regardless of how it makes them look, you know, they're not looking to deceive the sheep. They're trying to feed the sheep so that the sheep can be delivered to. You know? So the spirit of self-examination is a beautiful spirit to have. It's beautiful. And Yahweh Shem Shai loves that type of thing. You know? He loves that type of thing. And the parable, that's why Yahweh Shai said the parable of the publican and the Pharisee, right? How the Pharisee came like he was all righteous. You couldn't tell him that he was going off. You couldn't tell him nothing. You could not tell him, and especially the publican. The publican could have never said nothing to him. Okay? Could have pointed out where he was wrong at all, because the publican was a publican, and he was all righteous. He you know, I fast twice a week. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that. You see? So that's not the spirit that Yahweh Shem Shai respects. But a man that came like the publican came, the Lord had respect on the way the publican came. He said, yo, forgive me, oh Lord, a sinner. I know I'm wrong, Lord. I know I ain't right. I know I'm wrong. Okay? And you know, if you were to show him, yo, brother, you went off on this, you went off on that, you went off on, and he'll say, yeah, Khan, you're right. The water. Because the scripture says what? A righteous, if you rebuke a wise man, and he shall love thee. Rebuke a scorner, and he'll hate you, man. He's not gonna love you because he can't be told he's wrong. You know? So anyways, this wasn't meant to be a long video. I just wanted to point that out, you know, that self-examination is very important, because Korah, Dathan, and Abiram thought they were right, you know, and then what happened? The ground opened up. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, someone's calling me. So with that, I'll say shalom.